Millie, did you just feel the ground shaking? What was that?
Yes, Crocs, it was an earthquake.
What is an earthquake?
Earthquake is a natural disaster which takes place because of disturbance in the Earth's crust. It can cause huge loss of life and property. Natural disasters. The Earth is a beautiful place, but there are changes taking place in the Earth's crust, oceans, and atmosphere. These changes often cause damage to nature, life, and property. An act which results in the loss of life and property is called a disaster. Disasters caused by natural factors are called natural disasters. Floods, tsunamis, earthquakes, and droughts are some examples of natural disasters. Most natural disasters occur on their own, but sometimes they also occur due to human actions of disturbing the balance in nature. Earthquake. An earthquake is a sudden movement of the earth caused by movements under the earth's surface. These movements release great energy and can cause parts of the earth to quiver. Earth's upper layer, called the crust, is made up of many rock plates. The layers under these rocky plates are very hot because the core of the earth is hot. Sometimes the constant movement of these layers causes the plates to slide smoothly against each other. It is this sudden movement which gives rise to earthquakes. Effects of earthquakes. When the ground shakes, buildings, bridges, and houses also shake. When the movements last for some time, they cause these structures to shatter, roads to crack, and communication systems to collapse. This often leads to loss of life and property. It may lead to fire in case of damage to power lines. Earthquakes may cause landslides in the hilly region. Precautions during an earthquake. Buildings should be engineered in such a way that they are earthquake safe. The moment tremors are felt, the buildings must be evacuated and people should move to open spaces. Escalators must be avoided in such time. If getting out of a building is difficult, then one must lie down on the ground, covering his or her head with a hard object or hands. Measuring earthquakes. Richter scale is used to measure the magnitude of an earthquake. A low magnitude earthquake causes no harm, while a high magnitude earthquake can cause widespread destruction to life and property. Earthquakes generate waves that travel all around the world. These waves can be detected with an instrument called seismograph. People who study earthquakes are called seismologists. Their job is to predict earthquakes so that the people likely to be affected can move to a safer place. Tsunami. A tsunami or a tidal wave is a huge wave in the ocean that develops as a result of an undersea earthquake or volcanic eruption. It can reach a height of about 100 feet. Volcanoes. A volcano is the opening in the Earth's crust which allows molten rocks, ashes, and hot gases to escape from below the surface of the Earth. This hot molten rock that comes out on the ground is called lava. The lava spreads over the land, sometimes covering the entire region. When the lava is below the Earth's crust, it is called magma. The passage through which the lava travels outwards is called a vent. Sometimes formation of volcanoes also takes place under the sea. Types of volcanoes. Based on the nature of their eruption, volcanoes are of three types. Active volcanoes. Volcanoes that can erupt any time and had erupted in the recent past. Mount Fuji and Mount Vesuvius are examples of active volcanoes. Dormant volcanoes. Volcanoes that have not erupted for a long time in the past but may erupt any time in the future. Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Narcondam in Andaman are the examples of dormant volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes. Volcanoes that have stopped erupting. These are unlikely to erupt again. Some islands have been formed by undersea volcanoes. Zuidol volcano in the Netherlands is an example of an extinct volcano. Effects of a volcanic eruption. Volcanic eruption leads to loss of life and property, respiratory diseases because of the release of poisonous gases and dust in the nearby areas, destruction of forests in the nearby areas. Erupting volcanoes can cause tsunami, earthquakes, and avalanches. Floods. Floods can happen suddenly or periodically. The heavy rainfall causes the rivers and oceans to overflow their banks. Sudden floods occur due to the obstruction of the river path or damage to a dam or a water reservoir. Effects of floods. Floods cause damage to property and life. It can seriously disrupt transport and communication facilities by damaging of roads, railway lines, and telephone lines. It also disrupts the normal drainage system of the cities.